Right, I've pressed
Dude,
record.
I need a poo, mate. This is not good timing at all.
I've pressed record, baby.
All right, yeah. Even better timing then.
So, literally a second ago, what is it you just said to me? You just said, I've just had a nut bar and the nut's stuck in my throat. And what did you say? I'm used to that or something.
Used to nuts in your mouth, yeah.
Which
Which
leads me on to just take the piss out of you instead.
Yeah, go on.
Today, when we were speaking today, we were talking about business strategies and like what we're going to do in life, and I said to you like follow use your strengths, follow your advantage, whatever you're good at, and then I said to you, why don't you look into being a porn star? And it turns out it turns out that you've already researched into it and sent some pictures off.
Yeah.
So you sent sorry, it's making me laugh before I've even discussed it, because it wasn't the response I was expecting to get from you. So you've already sent some pictures off to like this agency or whoever.
Jane.
Yeah, to Jane.
Her name was Jane. Yeah.
And you've sent some different angles of your naked body, including penis, off to this mystery person who's advertising the opportunity to star in a porno. And when you sent the pictures, you got no response.
Nothing back. I got a dick pic back. No, dude, like I just received a dick pic back, just a dick. Ah!
Do you know what's brilliant about that? You either sent pictures of yourself into a legitimate fucking organization that was actually looking to hire someone in a porno, at which point they've looked at your pictures and decided you're not a suitable candidate. Oh, you've definitely been catfished and sent fucking pictures of your naked body, vulnerable to some kind of fucking weird, fat, sweaty old man or something.
Yeah.
And I've been enjoying it all day. Do you ever laugh and the muscles in the back of your head hurt? Is that just me?
Just you. Well, it could be more people. Yeah, dude. Because this was years ago, man. I might have been like 18, 19, 20, whatever it was.
Fuck off. This was last month.
And
that's go into the story.
Well, all it was I just I was just like one of them things where I was like, I just wonder. So I started reading up on it.
I want you to explain this story step by step. So the first thought you had is, I wonder how you star in a porno. I wonder how you get in. So
I wondered how you get in it, how much the pay was, and the pay, because you were like, oh, it's like $5,000 a movie, when it's not. It's women get paid more than men. Yeah, no equal rights there. Women get paid more than men, and men it's about, you might be paid £100. By the way, dude, this was years ago, and this is off my memory that's terrible, but it was like £100 or something. And like, by the sounds of it, it's not like, you obviously, like in your mind you think, oh sick, I'll be a porno, I'll just fuck all these women, and like, but it's not like that. Oh, apparently it's like you take different takes and you got to stay hard for like a very long time, and obviously like you'll be like switching positions and yeah, like fucking my brain's not worked all day today, and I'm being excited for the podcast because I've been sending Perry voice notes, and every time I send him a voice note, I don't know what to fucking say because my mind will not give me the next word. So I'm very excited about it.
I'm just I just found it, like I said that as a complete joke. Like, I was like, oh, maybe you should look into going into a porno. And the fact that you've actually sent pictures off is fucking brilliant. Like,
It was a
how did you
yeah.
take the pictures? Was it taking a picture in a mirror, or did you like stand your phone up and like put a timer on?
Stand my phone up and put a timer on. It was like an agency. It was like you got to find the right agent or whatever. So like,
What did you do? Did you message in saying hi? I'm looking to be hired in a porno.
Yeah, to a Jane or someone. By the way, dude, fucking Perry sent me this voice recording. I need to start. What I'm gonna start doing is starring them, because I like this, because he was trying to. Well, I'll play it to you. Hopefully you can hear it. He was trying to be like all philosophical and shit, and he was talking about his acid trips and DMTs and all this. And but just listen to it.
Instead of sending you a big message, it might be more enticing to send you little ones. But yeah, the biggest thing in all these things like acid.
I can't hear him very well.
Where's the mic? Yeah, where's the microphone on this thing? Hang on, give me a thumbs up, dude, when it gets loud.
I had a bad trip on acid because I didn't let it go. That and we were in a dark Australian forest.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes, the not letting go. With the DMT.
The music in the background.
Take enough of it, you'll be forced to let it go.
Hang on, dude, I'm gonna redo that because you didn't hear it.
Yes, the not letting go.
I can't hear what he's saying. Just scrap that. I can't hear it well enough.
Ah, fuck, dude. So basically what it is there's like this music that's like,
I could semi-hear like a little bit of a whistle in the back.
Like a hum. Yeah, there was a hum. And he's like, so basically, dude, like on the acid trip, you know, you're blah, 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 blah. And he's trying to be all philosophical. And then all you hear is like him clearly pushing and then shit coming out his ass. And you could hear him shitting. You know, like the sound of like the asshole threaded, like it sounded like that.
The sound of like someone speaking, but the tense, when the body tenses up when they push. It's dead easy to recognize.
Yeah.
So far, we didn't quite finish the thing about the porno. How many photos did you send? What positions was you in? Like how?
Just
what
front, side, and back.
Did you? What was your penis doing? Was it a red?
I had to do this.
What are them pants you've got on?
My tracksuit bottoms.
Right, they look unusually patterned. They look like layers in sedimentary rock.
Layers of sedimentary rock.
Layers in sedimentary rock. That fucking fish tank. One sec, dude. The fish tank's proper noisy.
Yeah, I don't want to do this podcast today. I was looking forward to it all day, and then my mind started to not work. And I got angry.
So tell me, one sec.
It makes good audio. Da 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 da. Dum 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 ba da ba da ba da la bow.
So we planned to speak at like, I think originally we was going to do it like in the afternoon, and you said you put your foot down and said you'll only work so many hours in your shift.
Yeah, lorry driving.
Talk me through the story when you got back and they were trying to make you work more. I can proper imagine your face.
Dude, right, here's the thing, yeah. The manager and the director of the agency said, you only do Sundays and every now and then Saturday. What can we do to incentivize you? And I said, maximum 10 hours and pay me some more money for and I'll do like a Wednesday. So they went, oh, okay, what about Sunday rate for Wednesday? Yeah, cool. Okay. And then this is the third time now that I've said to them, every time they say, can you work this day? I say, yeah, remember, maximum 10 hours. I don't think 10 hours is being like, it's not like I'm saying 30 minutes. It's not like I'm saying, you know, I think 10 hours is a good working day. And anyway, so I got in today and the run they gave me was about 13 to 14 hours long. It was go out, do a run, then come back, reload, and then go back out for another run. So I told them that I wasn't going to do it. I said, I'll do the first one, but I'm not doing the second one because I told the agency. I got a text message to say it. And yeah, when I got back in, there was a manager lady and she was like, oh, what time do you start? You said you can only do 10 hours. They wanted to see the text message. This ain't good content. And I just fucking, well, I just got, they were like, well, then they were like, you can only do 10 hours. When do you start? I said 8 a.m. They said, right, so you can do 6. Bearing in mind, you and I had already fucking arranged to do the podcast, hadn't we?
Yeah.
So they were like, well, they were trying to figure out, all right, so we've got until 6, which is about an hour and 40 minutes. And they were trying to send me like fucking 45 minutes or an hour up the road. And I'm like, no, it's not. And they were trying to send me up there. And I just threw a fucking wobbler, dude. I just threw a little hissy fit and told them, I said, like, I've told the agency if they want me to work more, I'll do 10 hours max. And
like in a job role, and you're not a contracted worker, are you? You sort of pick up shifts, is that right?
Yeah, essentially how they sell you it is, oh, you know, you work, we're flexible, you work the hours that you say you want to work, blah 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 blah. And then it's not the case, dude. Like
so part of
every single time I say 10 hours max, and they say yeah, and this is the third time, and this is what happens, right? This is what happens. They fucking give me the run. I go in the morning, they're like, and I'm like, I give me the run. I'm like, whoa, this is like a fucking 13-hour day. And they're like, oh yeah. And I'm like, well, I've said to the agency 10 hours. Here's the message. And they're like, oh, well, they haven't told me. Then what happens is then the pressure's all on me. Then it's like, then what they do is they're like, oh, well, you know, there's no drivers. We need you to do this run. And I'm like, no, I've told you, I'm only doing 10
straight
hours.
away. I know what's gone on there. So like it's just a common miscommunication, isn't it? So say I'm relaying a message to you, I can speak this message to you and I can be fairly happy at the end of it. You understand the instruction, and we reach an agreement. Does that make sense? Because it's between two people, but you're communicating with them, which you're then expecting them to communicate with someone else who's going to communicate. Do you know what I mean? When messages have to be passed from person to person, have you seen that thing where it's a few people are stood in a line, right, and they've got the back to each other, and it essentially says this is how rumors start. And what happens is someone's got a piece of paper on the person's back in front of them, and he draws a shape on it, and the person, based on what they can feel's being drew on the back, they drew it on the person in front of them, and then they drew a person in front of them. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So each time it's redrew, the little symbol or whatever's being drawn slightly changes. And that's like what happens when messages are passed. If you pass it to one person, unless it's directly passed on, like this is what tends to happen, the information changes slightly every time it crosses hands, or every time it goes to someone else. So what they're essentially doing, they're listening to you, deciding that, yeah, that's what he wants to do. He don't want to do these hours or whatever. They're probably telling someone else who's do you know what I mean? The message will change as it gets to them. So they've probably not just fucked you off. It's just the fact that you're dealing with multiple people, you and me.
Yeah, but I've quit anyway now.
Oh yeah, so the whole reason I mentioned this is because you threw a little bitch fit and fucking walked out of your job today, didn't you? Which I didn't walk out.
Yeah, I didn't walk out of. Well, I just told them. I said they wanted me to go to Gloucester. I said no, it's too far. I'm not doing it. And then I just said to them, I said I'm done now. I said this is the third time. I said, like, I set boundaries, 10 hours. I don't think that's not unreasonable. It's a 10 hours is a long enough day. I don't think that's unreasonable at all. This is the third time now. They know, because when you talk about the messaging thing as well, dude, I get that, because mushrooms and other psychedelics will do that. They'll show you like, oh, that's right. People really don't fucking understand what you're saying a lot of the time. A lot of the time you'll say something, you have it in your head, and then it just doesn't get received properly. And I've always said 10 hours though. I've said 10 hours. I say 10 hours every time. So I don't see why it will sometimes be 10 hours and then they'll try and get away with giving me like a 13-hour run. Because it's like if you say my opening times are 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. and then people keep turning up at fucking 6 a.m. or ringing you at fucking 6 p.m. and then you're like, oh no, these are my working hours, and then they continue to do it. You'd be like, at the same person though, the same person.
So it's like things don't go to plan, do they? In an ideal world, you'd say, right, I want to work these 10 hours for that lorry driving shift. I want to do these set routes, but you get there and there's more of a demand that they need to tick the box and get that stuff to them shops, or get the stock to them places. So you're doing the majority of the shift, but it's probably hard for them to get someone to come in and just do 2 runs. Are you with me? Like they'll see them whole runs as one shift, even though you've stipulated you only want to do 10 hours, which a lot of lorry drivers will probably just do the extra hours, wouldn't they? So they'll see you as the awkward one, but that's just your requirement, isn't it? They'll see your requirement as not fitting their routine, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
it's like if someone wanted a 7-hour tattoo off me, but I said I only ever do a 5-hour day, which isn't the case. But they was like, oh no, but I want this whole tattoo done in one day, and to be honest, I don't want to get it done over 2 sessions. And if I just proper stuck to my guns, I might lose that customer. So I'd have to compromise. But I get what you're saying. Straight from the start, you didn't want to work these ridiculous hours, do you? Like, I agree. 13 hours in a day is fucking sucks dick, don't it? Like, it's too much. That it just makes. I was saying to you before, like, a 13-hour working day is essentially waking up, having your breakfast, setting off out the door to work, coming home, having your tea, getting showered and stuff like that, and then it's bedtime. So that entire day has just been that shift, hasn't it? Because when you add up like the traveling to work and stuff like that, like it's because do you know something, right? Like when you're working, I see someone's commute to work part of the process. So like say you work somewhere and you start at 9 a.m. and you finish at tea time, but really you have to leave your house at 8 a.m. Commuting to work for an hour, and then after work there's another hour of travel back. Them hours are still working, even though you're traveling there, because without doing that job, you wouldn't need to travel. You wouldn't need to take that journey. So I think that on top of the actual shift itself, the time getting there and the preparation to go and do that thing adds to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, some agencies do that as well. They pay you for the travel there.
Fucking right, they should.
Pretty good.
So,
what about you, bro? How was your day been? Dude, I am not fucking ready for this podcast at all, man. I really am not. I reckon the sweet spot would have been when I finished work.
What you've got to remember is you don't need to be ready, because it's just a conversation. So it's not, you're not jumping out of a fucking on a bungee jump or somewhere where you need to psych yourself up.
I'm too hungry to jump.
Yeah. Yeah, my day's not been too bad. I've sorted some accommodation out and I went and viewed a property which I'm going into. And I've just been getting some stuff sorted because I've had a day off today, and I've not really had anything going on. Yeah, I've been and got like some new bedding and stuff like that. So pretty bog standard day. And I went for a 5K run this morning and it was fucking howling. It's been pretty sunny up here today. What's it been like down in Bristol?
Same. Yeah,
so I went on this run and we was training at my mate's. My mate managed to get us in a gym, like a little light garage gym today to train. And we got there and just jumped on his session. And when we got there, he was literally like, oh, we're doing legs straight after a 5K run. And I got there and we was just doing like squats and stuff, and it was just fucking, it was just proper overload on my legs. Why don't you open your van and sprint 100 meters down the road and come
Do
back?
some sprints. Yeah, maybe.
Explain to me this thing about, like, you were saying that you've got a park dead far away to get to your missus's house, which is like somewhere totally different. So have you got to park up and then hike to there because there's no parking or somewhere? Because I was saying one, I was like, why don't you just park up and do the podcast there? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, not quite hike, but definitely. So do you know, like, obviously
you throw a tennis ball from where you parked to your missus's house?
No.
That's too far away. If I can't throw a fucking tennis ball to my home when I park up, something's wrong.
Dude,
I reckon I could throw a tennis ball 100 meters.
You couldn't golf, you couldn't hit it with a golf swing either.
Could you?
You'd hit it with a light gun or an AS-90.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the fact that it's in the same town, like the region. It classes as still being in the same area.
It's a fucking bullshit row. It's essentially like Manchester. If you were to imagine, I don't know whether Manchester has this, I'm assuming it does. Right in the city, I imagine it's quite difficult to park. A big van, and like majority of the time,
a big van, just a big fucking van.
Just a gigantic van, mega van.
Have a fucking van, a hell of a van. Yeah, parking's fucking shite in Manchester. Parking shit anywhere it's built up. I didn't think Bath was built up though. I thought it was like fucking farms and pitchforks and shit.
No, it's built up, and then they've brought this new rule in, which is just fucking. It's just
imagine if they brought a new rule in that anyone that's attempted to get in a porno that also lives in a van's not allowed to park in the city. You don't want your kind in the city.
Yeah, you're not welcome here.
Be honest, because I know you used to be vain about your body, and you're saying you applied for this porno years ago. Did you do some press ups before you took the body pictures?
What do you think?
I'm thinking you did like a little work. It did you?
Shoulder, get my shoulder to go as well.
Did you have to get an erection, or was it just placid?
Placid. Just fucking got a bit of blood in it, a little wiggle. Hey, they've brought this new rule in Bath, and it's cool. I don't know, man. It's like this fresh air fucking thing where it's just, dude, like, come on, what are we doing, man? Where it's like, if you're in a fucking, if you're anything that isn't a car, you've got, you pay a fine if you go into this area.
Yeah.
Or you got to pay like online, you got to pay like an annual thing to enter the city in a builder's van or whatever you're in. But it just makes no sense. Like, surely the way to do it, because if you're in a van and you got work, you're always going to have to go there. Like, it's not your choice. But if you're in a car and you're driving there because you want to walk around and you're a tourist, then surely it should be for cars. It should, like, if it was to, because then that would stop people from driving in and they would walk or they would get the park and ride, like that makes more sense to me than
what you're saying is
for a job.
So what you're saying is if you wanted to park in there, you'd have to pay.
Yeah, so I can't
get in a van.
Yeah, I can't get to my girlfriend's house now.
How much is the bill?
Don't know. Don't want to try.
Why don't you just pay it? Or is it like ridiculous? Like, if it was like 100 quid for the whole year, it'd be worth paying. Do you know what I
mean? Oh, right. I see what you're saying. Do you know what I thought you meant? I thought you meant like, why don't you just pay it? As in, like, get yourself down there, pay the fine.
Oh, right. Just get the fine. Just get fines every day and pay it.
Every day. Every day getting a fine, yeah.
And pay the fines.
£35 a day.
So,
Like I could rent a fucking Lamborghini out for the same amount of price if I was to just go there every day. Get a
Yeah.
fine.
So how, like, what do you think could be a fair price to pay to be able to go into Bath and park your car and get easy access to your girlfriend's house?
60 quid a year.
Yeah, I think that's about fair. Maybe 100. I bet it'd be about 120 quid. I don't know why. I just imagine things like that are 120 pounds.
Yeah, £10 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see it being £10 a month or 11.99 a month, like a little
I
Netflix.
was sneaky when they had their extra quid on.
Little Netflix thing. Oh, dude, my so when my laundromat, he charged £9 to get a wash, to do a wash and dry and whatnot.
Right.
And obviously naturally, and then he put his price up after maybe 6 months of me going there. He put his price up to £11. And then in my head, I was thinking, oh, I know. And then in my head, I thought, I guarantee he's been sick to death of receiving a £10 note and having to give a pound change. And he's just getting through the pound coins every day. And then I bet he just hit a point where he's like, had enough, and he's just fucking blown his lid and been like, right. And then he's gonna get, and now the reason it's £11 is because he's trying to get the pounds back that he's like dished out over the years.
The thing is, though, £11 quite a dangerous number, because what if every customer pays with 20 quid? Like I'm usually that person, me, where if I've got notes on me, but I don't have any change whatsoever, and you'll buy something and it'll be like £10.60, and you've always got to give a 20 quid. You know what I mean? So I think 11's a dangerous number to charge, because you need a lot of fucking change. Like, it's more likely that someone's going to need, like, it's more likely if someone's got cash on them that they've got notes and they're not wandering around with change. You know what I mean?
Somebody's getting a change purse for their birthday. Oh.
Nice.
That's you.
I'm going to get a change purse, and I'm just going to send you some fabric softener to do your own washing. That's hand wash to wash in your sink.
Dude, I used to I was like out of an action movie, dude. I used to wash my gi, that you'd wear for jiu-jitsu, because I got it washed at the laundromat and it shrunk immediately. And I was like, and I said to the guy,
I like the word gi. It just sounds, it reminds me of, I don't know, it reminds me of something that would grow on your ass or something.
Gi.
Yeah. You watch Lee's geese swelled up again. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just sounds weird. Like, sounds like a weird, moist kind of disposition somewhere. It definitely doesn't sound like the description of a jiu-jitsu outfit. Why gi? Like, how would you even spell gi? Is it literally G-E-E? Gi.
No, G-I.
Oh, is it? Guy.
Yeah.
Gi.
Yeah. Gi. Glee.
I'd never have spelt it G-I.
I said to my laundromat dude, so I put it in and he dude, and it wrecked. I don't know, honestly, I don't know why I do it, man. He wrecks all my clothes because he puts on the hottest fucking wash on the tumble dry. And I said to him, oh, with the gi, he washed it one time and fucked it up. So I was like, with the gi, and it's quite expensive, about 140 quid or whatever. And I said, can you put it on a lower, in the tumble dryer, put it on a lower like heat? And he was like, no. And I was like, it's an Indian guy. And I was like, oh, okay, fuck me, right? And then he's like, if everybody wants different services and all that, then we just end up blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, all right, cool, man. So
that 11 quid will soon creep up to £12.30.
Yeah. And he's wrecked so much of my clothes, dude. Because you'll put in your trousers and then you just get like toddler pants back.
Yeah.
Like I was at the beginning I was under the illusion that I was getting jacked. I was like, yeah, I'm putting on some size here. Clothes barely fitting me. Remember you took the piss out of my top and it was like up here. Remember that?
Yeah.
That's why all my tops are normal, like down here, and then they go to him and then I just get toddler fucking clothes back.
You just sound like you're having some problems. Why don't you like blow your van up and fake your own death and just get a train up to Manchester and you can just come and live with me and I'll teach you how to hustle.
I know how to hustle, bro.
Imagine like, I wonder how easy it'd be to actually fake your death. Like what would need to take place? Because like, say you just blew your van up and you was just like, right, would you need to put some of your DNA in the van? Or like, I don't know, like how much of a corpse would be left from like a burnt out car? Do you know what I mean?
You'd have to make a clone, wouldn't you? That'd be the start. Get a clone machine.
Yeah.
That's like step one to faking your own death. Get a clone machine.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to have...
Or slowly extract some of your blood, like each week over periods of time, and like freeze it so you've got a big stockpile of blood, and then just squirt it all over your van so it's riddled with your DNA, and the body got completely destroyed. But this is 40's shit all over the van.
What I'd do is I'd hire a man in a bear outfit to attack me and pull me into the woods. Welcome back.
So
I'm letting you do
be
all the
honest,
work. As you know, dude, I'm letting you do all the work today.
I know like all I'm trying to do is just go back to this bit about you trying to get in a porno, but I just feel like there's unanswered questions, there's things I want to know about it. Be honest, because I've done this, right? So if I buy a lottery ticket, do you know what I mean? I'll buy a lottery ticket online and I'll buy it like a week before the thing is on every now and again. And over the course of that week, every now and again, it'll pop in my head and I'll just think, oh, I wonder if I'll win anything on the lottery, and they'll send me an email. So when you've sent off across these pictures of your naked body, which is fucking hilarious, the fact that you've even done that, afterwards, there must have been a period of time afterwards where you thought, oh, today might be the day, I might hear back, like, you know, like refreshing your email. Come on, Jane. Comment on my, tell me more about, am I suitable? Does my crotch fit the bill? Do you know what I mean? Like, you must cast your mind back. What was you thinking? What was you thinking? How often did you look back? Did you even, and then did you try like scapegoating it and saying, oh, she mustn't have received the email? You know, like coming up with an excuse why she chose not to use you in the porno based on the pictures you sent. She definitely didn't receive them pictures because she's not heard back from her.
So what I did was, it was about 6 weeks later, I sent more pictures through, but this time I had a mustache. I'd grown a mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just created a new username and a new email, sort of like a little makeshift new identity, and you just slightly, instead of combing your hair forward, you combed it back. Like the change was really subtle, and you was just hoping Jane wouldn't notice, and then sent some more nudes in.
Like, she gets back to me and she's like, because where I'm spamming her so much, she's like, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm not even a porno agency. I'm just some fucking dude that wants to jack off to your photos.
Yeah, I've already... I no longer find you attractive, and I no longer get turned on because I've been receiving your pictures for years.
Yeah, familiarity.
Please stop sending them.
Yeah.
It's like the first time you watch the Rocky film. Fucking great, weren't they? But watch them time and time again. Eventually, you're gonna the less enjoyable, aren't they?
Yeah, I've not even seen them all.
You've not seen the Rocky films.
I've not seen Lord of the Rings. I've not seen Harry Potter's. I've not seen Godfather, I've not seen. There's so many films that I know that I can enjoy to watch. I do want to watch Godfather. I've not seen Scarface. Dude, I've not seen some good ones.
I think that's might be where you're going wrong in life.
I'm not going wrong in life, dude. I had a little bit of fucking hiccup today. I don't like this. I don't like how you're perceiving me. I don't like it.
Like a victim.
Yeah.
No, this might just because I'm too lazy to read, but I fucking love films, man. I think you can get a lot from a film. Like everyone sort of my generation and people older have grew up watching the Rocky films and wanted to be a boxer. Do you know what I mean? Like, thought this is cool as fuck. So it's like a film can inspire you, can't it?
Mm.
So I think you need to see some more shit, man.
Inspire
You've not got a telly in your van, have you?
No.
Dude, if I had a fucking camper van, I'd have a fucking 60-inch flat screen telly. I'd have just a preposterous telly that takes up most of the van, attached to the ceiling, and I'd just lie underneath it.
What, Paul? Where's the sink? Oh no, I got rid of the sink for the TV.
Yeah, the TV. Like, where's the bed, Paul? Oh, again, the TV. The stand of the TV, like, slightly cut into where the bed was going to sit, so it was either the bed or the telly. So. And I had a choice to make. Also, Paul.
And the oven.
Also, Paul, where's your van? Oh, again, the TV just wouldn't fit in the van. I no longer have a van. I've just got like a chassis, like an open plan chassis with like a fucking. Do you know? Have you seen those fucking old? Have you seen those old school like train things where it's like a wooden thing and they pump the thing up and down?
Yeah.
I've just got something like that instead of the van.
Or you've just got a giant TV and you just stood there with a set of keys in your hand.
Yeah. Middle of nowhere. Again, the telly came first.
What when will you move in then? This weekend.
What would you do? I know it won't happen, but imagine if, like, after all them years of not having a response from Jane or whatever it was when you sent the porno pictures, just by happenstance you decide to check your junk folder and you've really recently received a response and it just says, "Hey Lee, love the photos, great work, great ass, we should meet up." How do you respond? How do you proceed with this? Because at this stage, you still don't know if it's an actual agency trying to look for keen porn stars or some kind of.
Can I just clarify as well? This was years ago. Because I'm in a relationship and you're like talking about it as if I sent it the other day.
I just love how you're trying to distance yourself from this event. Like it happened and it's part of you. I think you should own it.
I do own it, dude. I do.
It's a lot like when I got caught masturbating off Homo and
Robert.
The mad thing was.
Glad context. Homo is Robert Homans, a friend of ours in the army.
Shit, yeah. His nickname's Homo.
We forget that, don't we? Forget it means like it's a homophobic term.
I was completely naked on the bed and I was just looking at my phone.
No, it wasn't on the bed. It was on the chair, wasn't it?
No, it was on the bed.
Dude, I thought it was the chair with the desk and the.
No, I was lay down, dude.
Really? I got it wrong.
I just remember he come in to say, "See you later, Paul, open my door," and I was just lay there, absolutely going nuts. And I had headphones in, and I had my headphones plugged into my iPhone. I was holding it landscape view like that, and the door was over to the right. And I just remember he'd already been there for a few seconds watching, and I was just going nuts. And I just looked to the side and just froze. And we both froze for a moment, and And then he just burst out laughing.
Dude, that's funny. Like, there's no bonding, is there? Like, quite like being in the army, or it's probably the same as like rugby, where you just like piss on one another in the showers. Like, I think that's a fucking sign of a good friendship. If you've pissed on one another, then you know, like I see that as a wholesome friendship.
So you think if you're able to urinate on someone, then that's the sign of a strong bond?
Yeah.
Like, you just use it in every walk of life. Like, you don't actually care about me, and like, what? How do you know this? Because you don't piss on me. You just don't wee on me often enough. I just know. I can tell you don't care. You've changed. You've changed over the years. You used to do it more often.
Paul, so congrats on, you know, you've set a wedding date. You know, how'd you get on with the father-in-law? Could be better. I mean, you know, he's not pissed on me yet.
He's quite selfish with it. He goes off to the toilet each time and just wastes it down the urinal.
Yeah, I should confirm that I don't. When I say piss on one another, I mean like in the showers, obviously, where it's fucking, you know, where it's normal. Not like, yeah, it'd be weird if you just pissed on someone.
And just to clarify further, people who in the army don't get showers together. You're talking about communal showers, aren't you?
Yeah.
Everyone listening to this could just think, why the fuck are you in the shower together? Like, Lee, what? Hurry up, dude, the shower's on. It's like coming upstairs. You bring the towel. I've got the shower gel.
And it's really awkward because it's just like a really small shower cubicle as well.
And imagine if you did. Imagine if you did actually, like, you just showered with your mate, and people are asking, like, people are noticing it's weird as fuck, and they're like, why are you even doing that? And your justification is that you're unable to reach your entire back to itch it, so you need help in the back in the shower. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Or it's like,
you ever been unable to scratch an itch on your back? And they're like, well, yeah, I have actually. And you're like, well, I don't have that problem because I shower with my friends.
Let me ask you one.
Friends who shower together stay together. I need a wee, dude. All this urinal talk's making me need a wee.
Hang on, dude. One thing though, let me ask you one thing, John. Can you see your own asshole? How do you know it's clean? And that's the fucking selling point.
I just love how you'd waited to say that point. I think that came to you a couple of minutes ago, didn't it?
It did. I was waiting for you to finish. I went to go, and then...
When it came to you, did you feel a slight bit of joy, thinking I'm going to say that?
Yeah, can't wait to say this. I try and like listen to what you're saying as well, though.
I don't want to forget it. I need to remember this for a minute.
Everybody, shut up.
Just pause in a minute.
You should. I knew that was coming. We're back in.
We're back in. There's quite a nice hue to your face today.
There's what?
There's quite a nice hue to your face. Like a light bluish hue.
Sun dances right off it, real nice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's the kind of it kind of reminds me of quite a picturesque night, you know, where the moon's got a nice, like, the moon's casting a nice light on the earth.
Yeah, on the sea, over the sea, and it's extended.
Over the rainbow.
Oh, dude, when I was driving home today, right, this brought like legit fucking joy in my heart. So, there's two lanes and there's a set of traffic lights. The traffic lights go green, and what happens is there's two roads that are parallel to one another, and they meet into the middle. They meet into one road, and then
they meet in the middle, like you meet in the shower with you any close friend.
Yeah, exactly. Like they meet in the middle, like the piss meets my body and my piss meets their body.
And their eyes, their gaze meets your arsehole.
And so there's 2 lanes. I'm in the right lane, and there's the lights go green, and I'm right. I start driving, and the other lane is stopped, and I was like, oh, why is it stopped? There's a queue up here. I wonder what's going on. And then I just heard burp, a little burp, a little beep, and where the 2 roads that are parallel meet, right, and it goes into one road. What had happened was there's a lady that obviously was queuing, and then obviously the lights went red, and now she's just in the fucking middle of the road, like where just blocking off everyone, right? And I drive up and I hear beep, and I'm like, oh, it's that car there. And there's this the fucking dude, and there is the angriest looking lesbian sat in there with purple, practically skinhead, purple hair, basically like skinhead, and she was just like this, just like staring, mean mugging the person that had just beeped. And it just set me off, dude. I just burst out laughing, and I was like, that is amazing. Like, you just know that, like, she's completely in the wrong as well. Just move. All you gotta do is, like, it's clear in front of you, like, you're blocking the road, just move. Like, of course they're gonna beep at you. You're in the middle of the road.
Do you know why I handle road rage quite well? And when I say I handle road rage quite well, I don't get it.
Road wage.
Road wage. I don't really get it, and it's because usually I'm the one in the wrong.
Yeah.
I'm the one in the wrong lane, or I'm the one that cuts someone up, or I'm the one that shouldn't be on my phone, or I'm usually the one that's doing the wrong thing. So I'm the one usually getting beeped, and instead of like
getting fucking booped.
Instead of getting angry about it, I usually find it funny because I think, yeah, I am actually taking the piss. Like I've just blocked this car. Do you know what I actually did? I was coming up to a set of lights once, right? And for some reason, I could hear an ambulance coming, and for some reason, I thought this ambulance was behind me, right? And so what I was doing, I was coming up to a junction, and I thought the ambulance was behind me. I could hear it getting louder, so it was getting closer to me. And my thought process was, rather than stopping here where I am, I'll shoot through these lights really fast. I'll go outside this obstruction because there was like some roadworks. I'll go outside, around the outside of this obstruction, or I'll pull up on the other side of the road, allowing a clear path for this ambulance to go past. And what's happened is I've shot through the junction, like literally as it's going on to red, and I've gone round the outside of like this roadworks, and like met head on the ambulance, which is coming towards me, and I'm like fucking in the road, and there's no way the ambulance can get round me, and I've literally had to like reverse back into the junction, letting this ambulance go, like come at me, just looking like a complete knob, because everyone's probably thinking, what an arsehole, he's just like that ambulance is going somewhere and he's fucking cut it up. But what's that? I didn't know it was coming at. I weren't just trying to sneak through thinking fuck the ambulance. I thought it was behind me, but it just ended up with it. I was literally face to face with this ambulance going woo. And it just completely stopped because I'm in the way, and I've just had to slowly, really awkwardly reverse and let it pass. So I feel you, dog.
Yeah, see, if you had purple short hair, then you wouldn't have moved. You would have just stared.
Yeah, if I had more authority on the road.
No, I was saying if you were an angry lesbian.
Do you know what I've noticed? Your beard is starting to creep back into play, and your hair's getting longer, dude.
Yeah, I booked a haircut tomorrow. I got a haircut tomorrow at 1.
Whip the beard off. Are you pro beard again?
No, don't do that, because this is my decision, and then you're gonna make it look like I fucking noticed. Joe Rogan does this. He has an idea for somebody's life that's clearly their idea, and then he calls it as their own. And you do that as well. Like I'll be like, oh, nice, like something that's real fucking obvious, like, oh, nice top, dude. I like that top. Maybe next time you should wear a different top.
Like, yeah, like Leonardo DiCaprio should do another movie. That's what he needs to do. And then he does, and a new movie comes out, and you're like, well, I came up with that idea. It was my idea. I told him to do this movie, and now he's done it. And look how well he's doing from it. Do you know? He's completely beside himself. He's fucking absolutely smashing it. On the cusp of what I've created that idea. He wouldn't have done that movie without my say so. It just has nothing to do with him.
Watching the Oscars, like, here you are. Let's see if he mentions, let's see if he mentions my name.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank Paul for advising me to maybe do another film.
Yeah.
Another movie.
Do you think I'm looking rather muscular? I've trained today and I'm feeling pumped.
No, quite the opposite. I thought you looked ill.
I thought
you looked you look painfully thin.
I look as thin as one of the strands of hair on your beard.
Yeah, my beard looks like a fluffy old tennis ball, doesn't it? You know, one of those tennis balls that just gets like.
The only thing with your beard is it looks too chin strappy on the podcast. Like it's so dark under here, but then no hair here, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I wish there was better lighting here because it looks all right. It looks all right in real life. Like
I'm not slating it. I'm just saying it does look chin strappy in the pod. I do genuinely think you suit it better off, mate. Like when you shaved it off, I think you looked more professional and like I do think beards do look cool, but
but you're not getting here, dude. Let me fucking get a photo because I agree, mate. On the pod, I don't think it looks good because of the angles and shit. But in real life, it looks sound. You get a little fucking. I mean, it doesn't matter, but in real life, it looks sound, dude. In real life.
Why are you showing me a picture of a cat? Did you mean to do that? You still showing me a picture of a cat.
How's your day been anyway?
It's been good. Tell me, so you fucked this. You've completely fucked this opportunity to be a porn star. No, I'm joking. You fucked up. Yeah. You fucked up off co-op today. So where'd you go from here? Like, are you gonna try and pick some shifts up? You mentioned that you've applied for Royal Mail, which sounds pretty good. Like,
yeah, I've got the job, dude. I done. So, the lady sent me through some. You okay?
Yeah, I just clapped a little fly that was flying past my head. I've got super sharp cat-like reflexes. I've often been described as similar speed to an Olympic athlete, and yeah, it's just what they say. It's what other people say.
People call me the People call me the.
I wonder what Jane called you. You know,
dude, what's the fucking bug called? The thing that goes. What's that thing? The mantelope. No. What's it called?
A mantelope.
What's it called?
A praying mantis.
Praying mantis. Dude, this is why I didn't want to do the podcast today, and I'm smoking a spliff because fucking my mind's been doing this all day long, dude. It's been like, nah, I'm not going to give you any words that you want.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Boom.
I'm alive. Welcome to the podcast, episode 26.
Is it 26 or 25?
26.
25.
26 now. 26 episodes. 26 long.
26
glorious
fucking
hours with you. and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Have you seen that on Family Guy where he goes, knock, knock, who's there? Your friend, Stewie.
Stewie.
And he'll always be there for you.
Yeah.
On Family Guy.
I love a bit of Family
Family Guy.
Where are my flapjacks? For every...
I just want to open my fucking shop now, dude. I want to open my shop,
Yeah,
get my clothing launched. And
Are you able to, is it the 12th of April for you as well, dude?
I'm fucking hoping so, mate. I keep hearing people trying to scare me and say, oh, tattoo shops probably won't be allowed to be open, but I'm not, I'm not interested in Chinese whispers. I like facts. I'm going to wait to hear what's going on. I mean, I've been booking people in based on the assumption that I can open. So I'm just kind of hoping for the best, really. I mean, it's going to be a knockback if I can, because, like I said, I have been taking bookings and stuff and like sort of working towards that as a time frame. So we'll see. There's like there's going to be an announcement soon, isn't there? So I'm just going to go off that.
I like that you the sentence you just said you made shorter. You said, I have been taking bookings, and then you forgot to mention I have been taking bookings and tattooing. I like that you shortened it for the pod. It was I think it was clever to shorten it, you know, not too much filler, just get it short. Don't need to mention the fact you've been doing it anyway, but you know, it's good that you shortened it for the pod. Very, very mindful of you, and strong-minded as well, Paul. Very strong-minded. As we're talking about minds and whatnot in the brain.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
You don't go up there to fish. What are you drinking? What's your chosen beverage?
This here, but I'm not having it.
No.
Not having it.
Poison.
Water instead.
How much water do you drink? That's a fucking boring question. Never mind. What do you think happens when you die?
The human body is a living thing, isn't it? So it needs energy. I think once you die, that is literally it. I was watching a podcast the other day, actually, and it was saying about it was basically saying that I can't think how to make it relate to what I'm saying because it was really complicated, the subject, but it was going into like quantum mechanics and touching on the stuff to do with energy. And it was basically explaining that we kind of have a good understanding on how physics works, how the human body works, how atoms work. So the evidence is there to just say that when you die, you just disintegrate, and your body, the energy from your body just just gets passed on. Like it's very, you need a heart, you need blood, you need everything in the body to think, don't you? The body needs to function in order to think. So
as a human, you do.
Exactly. So I don't see why. Here's my problem with stuff to do with like heaven and hell and the Bible and things to do with religion. They were written by people thousands of years ago, and
it's ideas, dude. It's ideas. All books are ideas. All books are everybody's ideas.
It's made up as well, isn't it? It's whether it's true or not, it's still been made up by humans, hasn't it? It's been made up by other people. So I think that, I don't know. I think if there was something after death, we just wouldn't know. We wouldn't know about it. And I think we certainly wouldn't have guessed it right. If there was something going on when we die, I think we're unlikely to ever find out till it happens. But I think it's very unlikely that any current theories like to do with heaven and stuff like that is unlikely to be the case, because if it was the case, what would be the chances people thousands of years ago that didn't even know the earth rotated around the sun? They thought the sun rotated around the earth. Do you know what I mean? So, and they didn't even have any knowledge about the stars or anything like that, or what was even out there. They didn't even know. They didn't even understand gravity. They didn't understand loads of shit. How would they have guessed the afterlife when we can't even prove it with science today? Do you know what I mean?
This is an original thought I had one time when I was like pretty high and meditating, was science and history, they together, they do this. They go, science goes, oh, we've got it. All right, we got it now. We know what it is. And then history goes, nah, you're wrong. Because it's like when you look to the like you said, we thought that the sun rotated around the earth, and then we were like, oh, they thought that back in the day. Oh no, well that's not the case. And then just history just shows that the present, the people living in that present moment have these ideas and are wrong, and it's always happened. So I don't see why in the present moment now, when we're talking about how certain things with science, why we wouldn't.
What I think is unlikely is people who think that when someone thinks that you can eat a mushroom and you can somehow see what happens to you after you die, and you can see all these bright colours and stuff. In my opinion, you just fucked out your head. Do you know what I mean?
Like, yeah, but also you don't have an opinion on it, do you? Because you haven't experienced it. So it's like me saying, I think with tattooing, this is my thoughts on my opinion on tattooing. You'd probably sit there and be like, yeah, I can't really get on board with you.
Oh yeah, if I'd had like if I'd had a DMT trip and it was profound, and I thought, bloody hell, like that's opened my eyes, fair enough. But I just can't see it. Like I think you're right about history. Like as more knowledge is acquired and more things are explored, previous theories are a lot of the time ruled out, aren't they? But it's like I go off evidence, me. Like I like facts, me. I like things that can be proven, things that can be disproven. I like things that can be argued based on facts. Not.
Dude, let's pause it there. For some reason,
the what?
For some reason, the signal's going all weird, and your voice is going fast and slow, fast and slow.
Maybe I am just that fast.
And that slow.
Imagine if I was just putting it on to wind you up.
It would have been clever. Dude, I'm just going to... I'll be back in a sec. Laptop.
But yeah, like as what you were saying about history, Elon Musk, when he was on the podcast,
dude, you put a G on the end of his name, Elon.
No, I didn't. It's because I've got a blocked nose, like because I'm a bit bummed up today from this run that I did this morning. Because what Joe Rogan was, he was saying about so he was saying about all the stuff to do with aliens and the theories that to do with like all the aliens sightings and UFO sightings and stuff like that, like proof of aliens visiting the Earth. And he mentioned it to Elon Musk, and Elon Musk basically said if there was aliens, it'd be likely that he'd know, because he said, saying otherwise that they're well hidden. Do you know what I mean? He described it as subtle. And what he also said, because he was Joe Rogan said, "Do you ever think about it?" And he said, "I put zero thought into it because there's just no proof." And what he did say, he said, the Earth's been excavated all over the Earth. Every area has been looked into, dug up, excavated, artifacts found, things found all over the Earth by archaeologists. everything that's found coincides with the technology of the time. So the Egyptians that made the pyramids, the technology they've used to make the pyramids, it coincides with what they had in the day. Do you know what I mean? Like how they was chiseling the rocks, and that's consistent all around the world. So what Elon Musk was saying is, if aliens were visiting the Earth for a long period of time, at some point you would have found something like, even like a complex metal, or just something that doesn't make sense for the time, the period it was dated to, and that's never happened. So everything that's ever been looked into, things are impressive, like when they discovered how old the pyramids are, and they're impressed by what they find, but it's consistent with what the capabilities of the technology they have at the time. Does that make sense? So that when he said that, I kind of thought, yeah, that makes a lot more sense to me than this idea that aliens are coming visiting the Earth. And do you know what I mean? Like, it's just because it's usually quite mad people that are saying it, and it's not very often.
What, with aliens? Yeah. Here's the thing though, from a probability standpoint, there's going to be a very, very likely chance through numbers, for the pure fact that there's, and like, this isn't, we know there's billions of fucking stars with billions of planets, so that in our universe, and what we can conceive, what we can see of the universe, and so from a probability standpoint, it's likely. Also, this is a bit of a trip. Think about the life forms that are when you watch like David Attenborough shit, you see all these crazy creatures underneath the sea, and every system they have operates differently. So all right, they might have hearts. Some shrimp don't have hearts, or their heart's in their head, something like that. Yeah, their heart is in their head, or they don't have a heart, or something like that. But all these different creatures have different ways of, they have different realities, different perceptions, different ways of living. They eat different things. So all of this is going on, and you have life in everything. Like you can there's little boiling bits of like lava, but it's mud. So it's mud, and it's boiling hot mud coming from the earth, and there's living organisms in that. And there was a guy, I forget his name, he did an experiment where he had a glass with a little bit of H2O in it, just water, and he raised the frequency.
I love it how you tried to use because you're speaking about science. I love it how you tried to use the chemical name for water, like we wouldn't know what. Do you know what I mean?
So I remember reading it. I remember reading it in the book. And I was trying to think of what because I was going to say petri dish, but it's not a petri dish. That's like big and round, isn't it? It's and flat. It was something else, like a what is it called? Test tube. It was a test tube with water in it, and he raised the hertz to a certain vibration that the universe is at, and it spontaneously created life. Started like single-celled organism. So he proved that with just H2O, just water and air, you can, and a certain vibration that the universe vibrates at, you can create life. So he proved that life is spontaneous. So I think if life is spontaneous, which it must well be because we're here as well. Well, actually, I can't say, I'm not going to speak with certain tone, because if I speak with certain tone, I'll just later, when I reflect on it, think.
What you're trying to say is the universe is absolutely riddled with life, and I agree with that. It's everywhere. It's just too far away. They worked out the with our fastest rocket, with the technology we've got now, the closest star to us is 4 light years away. It would take 60,000 years for our fastest rocket to reach the nearest star, and it's 4 light years away. The galaxy is in diameter is 100,000 light years, and the universe in diameter is like 92 billion light years. So the distances are just that insane that whatever life's out there or whatever's going on out there, it's just so far away from it. And they say about like us, we've only been sending signals for 100 years. So our signals that are in the form of light are at best are 100 light years in diameter from where the Earth sat. So that will have only reached maybe a couple of thousand stars, which, do you know what I mean? So it's unlikely that even if there was life out there and it had reached a point where it was intelligent enough to have discovered signals that it could pick up, be unlikely to be able to detect the signals. Do you know what I mean? So
dude, what? Go on.
So what I'm saying to you is that whether there's life out there or not, it's probably too far away for us to ever know. But the likelihood of it is, they used to think, right, at one point, when we discovered like galaxies and things like that, we used to think that our solar system was quite rare to have planets around it. And then what happened is they discovered that every single star has planets circling it. That's the formation. The star is in the middle. Every star out there has got some form of planets around it. And then what happened? They come up with this Goldilocks zone of saying that the Earth has to be a certain distance away. And they thought that might happen. That might be insanely rare. And it turns out the calculations suggest of the 100 billion stars in our galaxy, 20 billion of them have Earth-like planets. So that's a fifth. So that's a fifth of the universe. Of every star you can see out there has an Earth the same as ours, which is the number's just a number you couldn't even comprehend how many planets that is. So that suggests that life definitely happened in these other planets, but they're just so far away. The chance of ever getting there is just so unlikely. Like,
yeah, and then
that's my thought. That's where I stand on it anyway.
I wonder if because you said like the planets are a certain amount of distance away from the sun, like that's the formation. I wonder if that has anything to do with the Fibonacci sequence. You know, the way. So Fibonacci sequence is the way that nature is formed. If you look around at nature, you'll notice a pattern. And what it is like, it's a certain amount of numbers, like, I don't know the numbers, 3, 5, 8, and it goes up in a certain where, and what will happen is like, you look at the bottom of a pineapple, or you look at the universe itself, there's a circle, there's always like a spiral. There's like a spiral that happens, and that's how nature is. Nature is mathematics, or it can be at least like figured out with numbers. And so I wonder if the Earth's, the distance of the planets from the sun, I wonder if that's to do with the Fibonacci sequence also. And also another thought I had when you talking.
Quite simple. It's to the reason.
Wait,
has to be a certain
the universe is quite simple.
No, I mean the reason the planets have to be a certain distance away from the sun is to do with heat. If it's too close to the sun, the water levels on the planet will boil away.
No, dude, I know that, but what I'm talking about is, you said they were all. Oh, you were on about the certain distance. Okay, I misunderstood you. You're on about there's a certain distance in order for life to form. I thought you were saying they were always the same distance away. That's what I thought you were saying.
Right.
No, obviously not. Actually, I don't know why I thought that. I know about Pluto being the furthest one that's no longer a planet, which is strange because we learned it as being a planet. There you go. There's a fucking proof of we're wrong. Apparently, Pluto was a planet in our solar system, and now all of a sudden it's not a planet, it's too small.
We're often wrong. That happens all the time.
We are always wrong. I like to think we're always wrong. And another thought I had was, you're bigger than a dog, and a dog's bigger than a cat. Not always, but most of the time. And then you've got like a caterpillar, and then you've got like a microorganism. And how do we know that's not the case? Like when you look at an ant, I don't know, like if everyone does this, but every now and then I look at an ant and I'm like, phew, I obviously, I'm like, phew, you know nothing. Like just watching it crawl across my hand, I'm like, yeah, like you know nothing. Like I'm a god to you. Like how big I am compared to it. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna fucking their little realities are so small, whereas we can drive places and fly places. And then I was thinking, like, I wonder if there's things looking at us being like, you're so small, you know nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they're outside the universe or the solar system.
I'm going to leave it there for today. I like science talk.
No, I'm going to leave it there.
Yeah. Piss off. Right, see you later.
Harry Potter.